Klaus here is going to tell me a bit more about the wonderful Mercedes 125 concept car. Will you tell me, what was the inspiration for the car in the first place?
We wanted to throw the ball up into the future for two vehicle generations, so we depicted a vision of the sporty luxury sedan of the year 2025. And this is what we came up with.
It's an amazing shape. How long did it take to design from sort of start to where we are now?
It's been a process of about 1.5 years, roughly.
Okay. And did the car start off as an alternative fuel car, or was it just the shape initially that we were looking for?
Right. No, it was definitely targeted at zero emission in the future.
Okay.
This car has a zero emission driving distance of 1,000 kilometers.
Okay.
Which we envision as in 2 generations that might be possible.
Now, presumably, to make a car like that, you need to keep it fairly light as well if you're
Right.
relying on alternative technologies. What materials are you using in the car?
We're using a material mix of carbon fiber, high-strength steels, and also aluminum in different parts of the car structure.
Okay. And you've gone for this incredible gull-wing door concept as well.
Right. Isn't it great?
I think it's absolutely incredible. I really am blown away by it. I'm interested in how these doors open and close. Can you show me?
Yeah. We've implemented an opening sequence by gesture.
That's incredible. I felt that second lock as it pulled back down.
Right.
Do you have to do an awful lot to the chassis to improve the rigidity, losing that much of the body, or not? Or is it naturally rigid?
That's the intelligent body structure, putting the high-strength material at the proper place. Since we have a large door opening, the stiffness of the car body was quite a challenge, yes.
The design of the back of this car is quite stunning as well, because there are these fabulous lights sweeping round that sort of echoes the curves inside the car. Also some detail here, and I can't help but notice this little H2 cap. Can you explain that to us?
Yes, sure. For gassing up the car, so to speak, we've got about 7.5 kilos of hydrogen storage capacity, and we use the regular hydrogen tank as you know it from the B-Class.
Yes.
Which we have in series production.
So proven technology, really.
Right, exactly.
Wonderful. One thing that strikes me about this car is the amount of room inside. It's far bigger than a conventional motor car. How do you achieve that? Because I don't see tanks anywhere.
Right. Actually, that's the secret. We see a new hydrogen storage technology coming up already in research right now. We anticipate that about 2 or 3 generations this is series feasible, and we store hydrogen not in a pressure vessel, but in a metallic organic framework, which is part of the car body.
So the car's the tank, effectively?
So to speak, yeah.
More or less.
In this case, we moved the tank into the car structure, and it's the floor structure of the car, and therefore we did not need to package any pressure vessels.
So that's completely different thinking to, it's breaking from tradition, isn't it?
Actually, exactly. And that's the new vehicle architecture that's then possible.
This is pure unadulterated luxury. It looks absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
Tell me about the seats, how they work.
First of all, in the vehicle architecture, we spared the B-pillar, so we have a large door opening, and that was also the advantage of the gull-wing door.
Yes.
And the seating concept is driver and co-driver seat, just regular, but we've developed this co-driver seat so it can be folded to a minimum package size, and the interior of the back seats is actually like a chaise lounge.
It reminds me of a lounge. It really does.
It's like a lounge, and you can tilt the lounge, you can move down the leg support, and with that have a very comfortable roominess feeling.
It looks absolutely fabulous, I must admit. And that design, the way the dash sweeps around as well, that's very, very futuristic. It looks really 21st century as well. Ralph, inside the car, I understand that a lot of it works on gestures, cloud computing and so on. Can you explain that to me, because I know very, very little about it?
We say it's an all-new concept. We call it at your command, because it's connected to the cloud and is, so to say, it's at your command, you, the customer. And we include a lot of stuff into it. One thing is that all the telematic and infotainment experience in the car is cloud connected and always synchronized. So a lot of the sources are connected to the cloud, news is connected to the cloud, music is connected to the cloud, and also other sources of information. And
right.
On the other hand, we take a lot of emphasis on how you interact with the system, because if it's getting more and more functionality out of the cloud, it needs some clever means of interaction. That's why we bring in new things like gesture control, touch control, or advanced voice commands.
Okay, so presumably, is there something like a camera in the car that picks up the gesture and translates it into what you require the car to do?
What you see is that on the side of the passenger, we have what we call the e-launch, and what Klaus already explained.
Yes.
And there we have a big screen, which is 17-inch, and we can control it completely with gestures. It has the sensors in it, and you just raise your hand, take control, and then you can control it with gestures. Another thing is this, what we call the 3D select pad, which is a touchpad that recognizes your finger even when it is still 1 to 2 centimeters above the surface. So you can already make the movement and the positioning of your cursor before you really start to interact with the system.
So it's thinking ahead a little bit.
It's thinking ahead a little bit. And the last point of it is that we have these little tiny touch controls in the steering wheel, which give you control of up, down, left, right, and push the button to replace up to 4 or 5 buttons, giving us more degree of freedom in the starting and design of the steering wheel.
I see, so they're smart buttons really.
They are.
Pretty smart car too.
Yes, and what we also have here, when it comes to presenting all this stuff, is a 3D instrument cluster. So we have 3D information here, which pops out a little bit and gives you more ability to capture the regions of the information that we provide.
I really hope that this makes it to the road, because I've never seen anything like it. It's such an impressive car, it really is. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.